I mean, I worked my way through law school as a floral designer. The bride and groom had their wonderful reception for 300 guests at a turn of the century in Cape Town.
You know, we're not from Cape Town. We've never even been to Cape Town.
At which all had a splendid time.
What do you mean? Is there something I want to tell you?
Immediately following the reception,
I mean, is there something you haven't been through with me about?
the bride at the tender age of 24. What's so funny? Wait a minute here, Buster Brown. Whose story is this?
Ours.
Wrong. This is a fairy tale, and I'm going to prototype.
But I'm 40.
Wrong. You're 24. In this story, you're 24. The average colored woman gets married at 24.
How old are you?
27. How old is he reading?
I'm a little 24 years.
Is that a little bit young to be getting married?
How come we positive me but not fully?
You're the woman. You're supposed to be young. Now, before I was interrupted for the umpteenth time, boys and girls, the young 24-year-old bride was soon whisked away in a horse-drawn carriage by her 27-year-old Prince Charming.
What's the way?
I don't know. To the airport.
Which airport?
The airport of Cape Town International.
Yeah. He's money George and money Bean.
What are you talking about?
I majored in geography. Thomas the Fancy. Which one now?
The one where you caught your flight to Mauritius. Where are you?
The way this fairy tale is completely out of it. Anyone knows there's no flight from Cape Town to Mauritius. You have to fly to Galuna.com or Mango or both. And anyway, what kind of airport are our horses hopping through?
For God's sake, what's the point in telling these children a nice little bedtime story?
No, it's not what I'm talking about. How many of those children will live up to your version of the story? I'll tell you how many. None. They can't. Too much pressure. It's like what catching from home messed up in the head. You can't be another Andy's version. And then my sweetie pie. I want to shake it to begin with.
What names? How can you say that?
You're probably one of those dwarfies.
What?
Come on, man. How many straight male cloth designers do you know?
Oh, that's what you children needed to be honest about.
Didn't even know I made it geography. Look, if we're talking averages here, most people don't get married in Cape Town. Most people get married in one horse hometown that have 5 schools and 4 tickets.
What's wrong with that?
It's not that bad, that's not the point. Most people do get married in their hometown. Most people cheat on their spouses or end up in counseling or sell out everything they own to get into a lively nursing home. Put that in your bloody fairy tale and smoke it in.
No one's ever getting married at children present.
Thank God for the tell my life is Leah.
Yes, you're right, Dennis. You better watch it. You're opening yourself up to multiple class action suits. Don't talk to me. Talk to my lawyer.
Fine, I've had it. You want the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, the whole enchilada, the proverbial hook, line, and sinker. Well, far be it from me to give these little children something from which to aspire.
Do it, man.
I'm warning you, I'm pretty.
Leading me.
Such a good book. Once upon a time in Oregon, not so far away, there lived a woman approaching middle age who smoked a pack a day, drank lots of vitamins, lived in a place where they throw chicken feet on the floor.
I got it. Enough.
And a young, slightly effeminate man took it up the ass one from a fellow Boy Scout since he was 17 and apparently high on tick at the time. He still considered himself quite straight. And early one morning in a shebeen, where they got so drunk that they slept together afterwards at her place. And since she felt so guilty about the one-night stand, she felt that she had to make a legitimate relationship out of the encounter to justify the sex. To stay in the dark wasn't. 25 in a new flight to Paris to get married by a piss-drunk tourney. Following the elegant marriage, the reception that took place at the Wrinkles Hospital, where they bought all the bar patrons knickknacks and Black Label. Upon their arrival back home in Benoni, the young groom, decided to take it, was unable to suppress his inner urgings and took it up with a drag queen from Point Road. And the wife, realizing that she'd never be a mother, consoled herself with vodka and meds, and died of some accidental overdose 3 years later. The groom, now aged 27, now to wearing cowboy hats and assless chaps, in which he made the unfortunate mistake of traveling to Vitbank on business, which he was dragged to his death behind a 4x4 by a bunch of homophobic Dutchies. The drag queen made a show about the 3 of them, in which she played all the parts, and won a U Magazine's People's Choice Award, and now her